Hey guys, welcome back. We're gonna talk about Charlotte and Physalis. Let's go. So, Charlotte and Physalis are like physical attackers that support the team by mitigating damage. They can also debuff the offensive stat of an enemy. Here are their STMRs and TMR. Unmatched Duo is their TMR, increases attack by 20% when equipped with a sword, increases attack 20% when equipped with a gun, increase equipment attack 50% when dual wielding, and it is unstackable. Their SCMR is the gun shield of Granjalt. It's a gun with 160 attack, 28 defense, and 36 spirit. No element and no resistances, and it has an additional effect, Knights of Granjalt, which increases MP by 30 and recovers MP 3% per turn. So what are their strengths in base form? They can equip daggers, swords, throwing weapons and guns, and also light and heavy shields. They can also equip hats, helms, clothes, light armor, and heavy armor. So Charlotte and Physalis' base form can attack, buff, and debuff at the same time. Their abilities have high modifiers and can even compare to pure damage dealers. They specialize in bolting strike chains. So their static ability is called the Knight's Incorruptible Blade. Physical damage 80 to one enemy bolting strike chains. Shield Volley Shot is physical damage 67 to one enemy and also mitigates damage taken 40% for 4 turns to all allies, also bolting strike. Mitigate general damage. And last is Strongest Crippling Shot, physical damage 28 to one enemy, decrease attack and mag 75% for 4 turns to one enemy, bolting strike. So Charlotte and Physalis' base form can also imbue and imperil light by 120%. They do increase break damage for guns 500% when they're equipped with guns and using the break skill, and also applies physical magic and general mitigation and grant HP barriers. So we're gonna go down the list. Strongest Shielding Shot is the mitigate physical damage taken 40% for 4 turns to all allies. Also mitigates magic damage for the same amount for 4 turns to all allies. Full Charge Bullet, physical damage with increased break damage 500% for a gun to one enemy. Useful when trying to break the break gauge of an enemy that is weak to gun. Shining Punishment, 4 turn cooldown, available on turn 1, decreased light resistance 120 for 4 turns to one enemy. Also adds light element to physical attacks for 4 turns to caster. Last is a special defensive Physalis Bullet, 1 use per battle, unique selection and multicast, mitigate damage taken 60% for 4 turns to all allies, grant HP barrier 5000 for 4 turns to all allies. That's going to be useful when you are triggering a threshold with massive attack from the enemy. So, more strengths for their base form. They can also be built for LB damage, since they have a passive LB damage of 150 and an active LB damage buff of 150%. Their LB has high modifiers and has 100 physical accuracy. So their LB is called the Sacred Shield Shot Max at level 40. It costs 40 LB Crist and does 1 hit, so it's perfect for finishing. Increase physical accuracy 100% for 1 turn to caster. Physical damage 60 with ignore defense 50% to one enemy, so that's 120 modifier there. Sacred Shield Informer Pysar. Enable dual wielding of one-handed weapons. Increase LB damage 150%, so that's their LB damage passive. Strongest power up is the 4 turn cooldown, available on turn 1. Increased attack 250 for 4 turns to caster. Increase LB damage 150 for 5 turns to caster. Can't be dispelled. Alright, so they have 170% attack passives at most when equipped with a gun, and 100% true dual wield. They have innate dual wield and the increased 200% chain mod cap. They do 200% more physical damage to avians when equipped with the shield. So going down the list, they have attack 120 base, attack 50 conditional when equipped with a gun, defense spirit HP by 40, another 20% HP, another 30% MP, 100% when dual wielding, 200% avian killer when equipped with a shield. They also have physical evasion, 15% when equipped with their TMR or STMR, ice and light resistance 30%. Also a trust ability, resistant to blind, confuse, and petrify 100%, and increase LB gauge 2 per turn, and also recover MP 5% per turn. So what are their weaknesses in base form? Activating the 200% avian killer is very difficult and awkward. By equipping them with a heavy shield, they will lose their true dual wield bonuses. They're better off not proccing it. So just disregard that avian killer. You can just equip equipment or materia for the avian killer. They also have low base stats, but that's understandable since they're a reward unit, free unit. Furthermore, there's no way for them to fill their LB gauge. They need external LB fill or wait for their LB gauge to fill naturally using training or LB crest, and also their LB fill per turn. So these are their stats, quite a bit low in attack, but you can pot and door it. Even at EX1, it's just 253. So it's kind of low, but they're a free unit, so understandable. So here is a sample rotation for the base form. So this rotation does physical and magic mitigation and offensive debuffs while doing damage. So if you don't need mitigation and offensive debuffs, start from turn 2. So we're gonna use their attack and mag debuff, strongest crippling shot, and also the shield volley shot, also strongest shielding shot. Then on turn 2, we're gonna power up, increase the LB damage, increase attack, also imperil and imbue light, and do 1 Knight's Incorruptible Blade. Turn 3 and 4 is just pure damage. Turn 5 is doing the Magnus or Grandis ability, 60% damage mitigation. And turn 6, power up again, rebuff. And then turn 7, hopefully our LB gauge is full. We can use Sacred Shield Shot, passive LB damage up 150%, buff LB damage up 150%, so that's 480 modifier. You can increase that by equipping more passive LB damage gear. Alright, so sample build. How do we build them? We should build them since their LB hits really hard, so we're going to build them for LB damage and true dual wield. Dark Ragnarok plus is great for them, as well as the Supreme Sword of Light from 11, although that's a limited unit. They can also equip throwing weapons and daggers, so Tonberry's Knife and Dark Rising Sun plus could also work. That Dark Rising Sun is from Dark Visions. Tonberry's Knife is from the Tonberry Trial. Other notable gear include Guardian of Light Sora, that's limited materia though. Courage to Move On, Red Hellebore, King Rain's Armor, Warrior Leg Guard's Lion Armor, also limited, and Limited Moon from Red 13. For their Vision card, Facing the Demon Tower from Riku, KH3, a limited unit by the way, would be perfect when equipping with swords. That's 110 flat attack and 80% attack passives. Since they can cap true dual wield so easily, they will have a lot of room for killer equips. They just need 100% more true dual wield, or just 50% if you equip them with their TMR. Also, an alternative build to the base form, they have innate 15% physical evasion when they are holding their TMR or STMR. So they could also be built as an evade passive provoker if you have the gear, and also a damage mitigator. So since they can mitigate physical magic and general mitigation, they won't do too much damage because you're sacrificing the attack equipment for the passive provoke and evade equipment. But you can just do some damage using their base form, Brave Shift form. Right, let's go move on to their BS form. It's available from turn 1. Duration is infinite, so you can stay on the BS form infinitely. Cooldown to normal is 1 turn. Cooldown to Brave Shift is 2 turns. They can also equip daggers, swords, staves, rods, guns, maces. They can equip hats, helms, loads, and light armor. Their BS form focuses on dealing damage using tag team attacks, so this is the only form with the tag team attacks. They still have access to Bolting Strike via their static ability, so their hardest hitting skill on base form can be used on their Brave Shift form. Alright, so Chaining Punishment is a grand tag team attack for a specific ability. This ability, physical damage 72 to one enemy, so it doesn't require a chaining partner, it's a tag skill. However, it's a bit low on modifiers compared to their Bolting Strike skill. Punishment Tag is their grandest ability, 2 uses for battle, unique selection, and multicast. Grand Tag Team attack for specific abilities for 1 turn to caster, so this ability, physical damage 1 to 1 enemy, physical damage 90 to 1 enemy, also a tag skill. They still have access to their Light Imperil and Imbue, as well as their 250% attack buff and 150% LB buff in BS form. Their LB is also a tag team attack, so it's called the Protector's Bayonet. Max level 40, 27 hits, 40 LB crists. Grand tag team attack for this ability, physical damage 85 to all enemies, so it's an AoE LB, but it has a low modifier compared to their base form's LB of 120. But it's a tag attack, so you don't need to chain this. You can also use this and then have a finisher cap it. Alright, so they have 190% attack when equipped with a sword and 150% true dual wield. Their TMR can cap their true dual wield. They still have their 150% LB damage passive, innate dual wield, and increase 200% chain mod cap. Alright, so their passives look a bit similar. The only difference is the attack passive. It's a bit higher, and also the true dual wield, it's 50% higher. So with their TMR, they can just cap their true dual wield. Weaknesses, I couldn't find any weaknesses with their with their Brave Shift form, but if I would nitpick, it's the LB mod is a bit low compared to the base form, but otherwise a very strong form focused on dealing damage. So here's a sample rotation: Imbue and Imperil by 120%, buff attack by 250, and LB damage by 150 on turn 1. Then attack with tag team abilities until turn 4 when they LB. Try to combine their LB with a light finisher to maximize damage. So turn 1, you power up. Turn 2, you chain. Also same with turn 3. Turn 4, use their LB, hopefully if their LB gauge is full, and cap it with a light finisher if you have one, so you can maximize damage. Turn 5, power up again, and then turn 6, chaining punishment level 5 times 3. So you're gonna be losing a bit some modifiers there, since punishment tag can only be used 2 times. Alright, so how do we build them? Build them the same as base form. They just require 50% less true dual wield to cap. So build them LB damage and true dual wield, much attack as you can. So what are my final thoughts about this free unit? So they are amazing for reward unit. I was pleasantly surprised when reviewing their kit. Base form has offensive debuffs, a bit low, 75% attack and mag. Damage mitigation for all types of damage, HP barrier, and a hard-hitting LB with accuracy. I think that's the first LB I've seen with physical accuracy. Correct me if I'm wrong. They can also be built for evade passive provoking, which adds to their flexibility. So they can be built pure support in their base form. They are quite easy to gear with 150 LB damage, so that's half of the cap, and 100% true dual wield, also half. They can pair well with supports who are missing damage mitigation from their kits. So since they bring all the kinds of mitigation, they can support the support. Brave Shift form is built for pure damage dealing. They only require 1 turn of prep to get their damage going, and their damage goes down a bit after 2 uses of their Magnus or Grandus ability. They can pair well with a light finisher like Enviferian BS form. His LB is a finisher move, and he's These element is light to cap their tag LB. So how do we get them? Make sure to log in at least once in February to get Rolot and Physalis. So thanks for watching, guys. Hope this helped shed some light on the tag unit, on the free tag unit. Make sure to subscribe, click the like button, and click the notification bell to get notified when I upload new videos on the channel. Again, thanks for the support. I'm almost at 1,000 subs, and I can finally be a YouTube partner and make and earn money talking about FFBE and other games. Again, thanks for the support. Till the next one. Bye-bye.